Hi, Jim Ziegler, the Alpha Dawg, going live with two of my favorite people in the whole world. I've got Lisa Colgrove and I've got Christy Roman from Women in Automotive. Now, before we get started, I'm going to do a little housekeeping. It'll take me a couple of seconds here. I want to be sure this broadcast goes public so everybody can see it. There's the broadcast. Oh, you women look great.
Thank you.
Okay, public. All right. Got two of the most beautiful women in the world here. Okay, first of all, Lisa, what do you do?
What do I do? I am a consultant, an author, and a speaker. And I specialize in the automotive industry.
And what else?
What else? I'm so darn busy doing that right now, Jim. I don't have anything else.
You are a prolific Facebook blogger. I've seen all your video blogs. I mean, I'm just absolutely impressed.
Well, thank you. I'm getting ready to launch a big sales school called Unapologetically Fierce.365, the 1% Club. And so we're building content. In fact, you've been a guest on my show, as has my dear friend and leader of Women in Automotive, Christy Roman. So I love talking to great people just like you.
Hello, Christy Roman.
Hello, Mr. Ziegler.
And tell us about your company.
Well, we have a digital agency. We help dealers. Basically, I say we're like the quarterback. We don't necessarily do everything in-house, but we do help dealers figure out the best way to spend their dollars and also how to adapt to a lot of the trends that are happening around them, the innovations, trying to help them figure out other ways they can make money. That's a big part of what we do. And, of course, then we have Women in Automotive, which I founded, and Lisa's kind enough to be on our board, and she does our monthly webinars for us.
Well, let me ask you, you're in a dealership right at this moment, aren't you?
I am. I'm at Bill Curry Ford in Tampa, Florida.
Fantastic. Great dealership. Now, let's talk about Women in Automotive. Now, that is a movement. That's a conference. And the conference is coming up, what, next week?
Yes, the 24th to the 26th at the Omni Champions Gate in Orlando, Florida.
The Omni what?
Champions Gate. It's a lovely Omni hotel just outside of Orlando.
You're going to have your conference at Champions Gate? I know the hotel.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool hotel. And it's got water slides and things for kids.
People cannot attend that conference. That hotel is too expensive. What's $500 a night?
No, I think our rate's around $159.
You're kidding. I've stayed at Best Westerns for more than that.
Thankfully, that's not where we're going.
I don't go there often. Oh, golly. So anyway, you got $159 nightly rate. Tell me what is Women in Automotive? Why do we have a girls' conference?
Well, yeah, it's really not a girls' conference. I know you love those hot button words, but
I'm messing with you.
Yeah, I know you are. It's really a conference that's designed for two reasons. One, for women who are in the industry, whether they work at a dealership or an OEM, or they work even for a vendor. It's for us to be able to come together and learn from each other, to inspire each other, and to remind each other why we're in this industry. It's a great industry to help other women know that this is an industry that they can get into. And at the same time, it's to try to help from the grassroots level, help dealers figure out, okay, from a cultural standpoint, how do we hire women who will stay? How do we keep them once they're hired? It's not just women, it's young people, millennials. So our conferences are around both areas, trying to help dealers figure out culturally what they need to do to hire and keep women and young people. And then for the women who are coming, to remind them that even if it's a difficult industry, sometimes you feel isolated. It's still a great industry. It's one of the very few where you can make your own way without a college education. You just have to persevere. And then just to provide great content for everyone. I mean, we have content on leadership, which anyone can benefit from. It's not really just for women. We really want men to come too, because we all feed each other. If we can help the dealerships and help the men understand how to better handle women, and we can help women understand how to better deal with their bosses and the cultures that they're in, we hope that it'll eventually be a win-win solution.
Hey, guess what? Sandra Benstock-Delalio just showed up. We got Jason Grace on the sideline, Jim Youngblood, and Travis Wagman. So we're starting to build a little audience right now. And, of course, you and I both know most of this audience will be on the replays. Now, what is the content of Women in Automotive? Now, are you going to have any successful people speaking?
We are. This year, we're going to have Cheryl Connolly, who's the Chief Marketing Officer for Ford. And we're also going to have the Chief Marketing Officer for Kia. We're going to have a couple of millennial speakers. One's named Kristen Hadid, and she started a company in Gainesville, Florida called Student Cleaning. And her message is going to be on how to empower and manage millennials. They're a little bit different in their, what's the word I should look at, outlook and expectations in their careers. We have Lisa Copeland is going to be speaking about her new book that's coming up, Joni Stuker.
What does Lisa know?
She, a little bit here and there. The number 1 Fiat store in America who broke the world's record.
Wait a minute. 10 Fiats?
Pardon me?
Did she sell 10 Fiats, 12? How many?
I was the tallest midget in the auto industry, Mr. Ziegler. Thank you very much.
She broke the world's record.
I understand you sold more than 100 Fiats in a month.
We did, 109 to be exact, of just the baby car. It was just the 2-door car at the time in the land of SUVs and trucks. And we sold them out of a shopping center.
Yeah, I've got a Fiat in my trunk. I keep it for a spare.
Oh, you'll love you.
Guess what? Miss Debbie Ziegler, me, the Alpha Dog, and Sadie, the Wonder Dog, are all 3 going to be at the Women in Automotive Conference.
Yes, you're going to be our very special guest. You're certainly an industry powerhouse. And from our vantage point, one of the things that we're doing this year as an initiative is we've invited some powerful men, yourself included, to come and be a part of what we're doing and to provide feedback. It's not enough. We can all preach to the choir, but we really need feedback from people who are in the industry who can help us figure out, how can we get a bigger footprint? How can we get more people involved? How can we make sure that a lot of women get to participate? When you come, I think you'll see it's such a great event. It's so different from most of the other events. We're not trying to sell anything to anybody. We're really just trying to empower and inspire each other and help an industry adapt its culture to the needs of women and young people, so that there's a plan B going forward. So they're not always looking for people and having to hire the same people. They're getting a new audience that they can attract and retain.
That is absolutely tremendous. Christy, I just met Lisa a couple months ago, but you and I have known each other for years.
Yes.
Now, I have been a huge, huge supporter of Women in Automotive for a long time.
You have. And ever since the first year, you helped us promote it the very first year we did it. And I can say, none of us knew if anybody would come. We really didn't know if we were just shooting in the dark. And so to have it be, this is our 5th conference, and we did quite a few things at the auto shows this year. To have it be as well received as it is, it's kind of like one of those things where have you been all my life? We didn't really know what we were missing until we had it. And now that we have it, it makes life so much easier to know you have this network of people that you can talk to about whatever happens to be going on. I think it gives everyone more strength and courage to persevere, even when they feel like, today I just don't want to put one foot in front of the other. But I can reach out to a Lisa Copeland or a Joni Stuker, who had a horrific car accident last year, and she'll be speaking.
How's Joni doing? Joni's been a friend of mine for 25 years.
She's writing a book. It's called Eat the Burrito. And basically she's going to be talking about her story. Last year, she was in a horrific car accident that basically cut her almost in half. And one of the things her doctor told her was that if she'd been any skinnier, she would have died. I mean, they actually thought she was dead anyway on the scene. Nobody could believe it when she walked into the hospital a year later that she had actually survived.
If she'd have been any skinnier, she would have died?
She would have died, yeah.
Well, that's why I do this.
That's why she says, eat the burrito.
Eat the burrito. The doctors told her if she was any skinnier, if she would have obsessed any more about her weight, she would not be here today. So she's going to be one of our inspirational speakers, just talking about her journey. I mean, she went through, she was a workaholic. She worked 7 days a week, traveled all the time. She had all these major contracts with GM, and, she just was always doing something. And so it certainly slowed her down. I mean, she was in the hospital for months. I think she was in the hospital for about 5 months and she was in Arizona. She lives in Chicago, so she wasn't home. The whole thing was just a huge ordeal for her. And so to see how she's turned it around and she's making a comeback, and she told me she flew on a plane a couple of months ago. It was the first time that she'd done that. It's just to GM, actually. She went to the GM office and she was telling me there's an elevator that scares the crap out of her, but she wasn't as scared this time, probably because she's got a little perspective that maybe she'll be able to share with us.
One of my good friends, Bill Wolf, is on this. Hey, Bill, put a note in the sidebar if you're still on this broadcast with us.
Hello, Mr. Wolf. I know him too.
You know Bill?
I do. He's a great guy.
I worked with him back in the dark ages.
Yeah.
Did you tell him what to do? I hope you did.
Well, he knows exactly what. He's been to a couple of my battle plan conferences. Now, how do people get? It's late. Is there still room to attend this conference?
Sure. Yes. At womeninautomotive.com. There are plenty of tickets left. We will certainly accommodate anyone who wants to attend for sure. The more, the merrier.
It is, and it's such a great event. And I'll tell you, Jim, and everyone who's watching, I had the honor for the first conference. I was the closing keynote. I was still a car dealer then, and they invited me, and and it was a pretty good sized conference, and but I just saw the excitement, and then of course I've been to every conference since. And just to see it grow. And the best part is to see that everybody comes back and then they bring more people. Like I am bringing a good friend of mine. She's the general manager of the Mitsubishi dealership here in Austin. And she just texted me yesterday. She's like, I can't wait to be able to, go to Women in Automotive with you. And, and I'm bringing another friend of mine, a business partner of mine. And I mean, and just inviting people, and bringing new people. And so it's growing and women love it. And tons of guys are there. So if you're a man, don't be afraid. You're invited. You just have to be cool and pay the bar bill. That's it.
Oh, pay the bar bill. Absolutely. we get very unliberated when it's time to pay the bill.
Except the good news for us is that most of us just drink wine and Prosecco. We're very, very proper about what we do. So, we're not out buying the expensive scotch. So,
hey, Amanda Ryan just came on. Do you know the Ryan sisters?
I don't
either.
Hi, Amanda.
Oh, the Ryan sisters are identical twins, and they are social media guru. Oh, they are gurus. They are, they're identical twins. I personally like the prettier one.
Oh, Lord, you're the only one who can get away with this stuff.
The Ryan sisters are great friends of mine, both of them. They're Canadians, eh?
Well, we even have Canadians come. Brent Weed comes. The next stuff always does fun things. Huh?
Canadians actually cross the border to come?
They do.
Wow.
They do.
That is spectacular. Yeah.
Well, Canadian women need to know how to sell cars too and operate successfully in a male-dominated industry. So all of our Canadian sisters out there, come on down. The alcohol here, it's not quite as high of a level as it is in Canada. So you might have to drink 2 glasses of wine to get the same buzz. But join us.
Sean Hayes is on Sales Hustlers.
Hi, Sean Hayes. Sean Hayes is my good friend.
Chris Bennett's aboard. Amanda Ryan just said, LOL, Jim. Guess what? See, so she's not offended. Her and I are great friends. Now, womeninautomotive.com. I've got that on the screen right now. People can get signed up. How much is it to get signed up? It's like $1,000, $1,200, $1,500?
No, it's $595. $595 for 3 days.
$595.
$595. Yep, it includes 2.
That's a blackjack chip.
I know. And we also provide childcare for anyone during the conference at no charge for them.
Which is unheard of, Jim. I mean, what other conference? I mean, that's where, Christy, and I just want to brag about her for a minute. Christy is the founder of Women in Automotive. And, it was really her vision that has pulled all these industry leaders together. And and she's just done a great job of galvanizing all of us. And you can imagine our original board was all women. So you get a bunch of women with a bunch of different ideas. And Christy has just been a great leader on keeping everybody sane and not fighting with each other. And then we expanded and we've added some amazing men. But, but her vision, it's been incredible. And I'm so proud to serve on the board. But, what she did was she's a pioneer. No one's ever done it, because people said, why do the women need a conference? because we need a conference, and that's okay. And part of her vision is that there'll be so many women that can't come because of childcare. Like, they wouldn't have childcare during a conference, or if they're out of town. So, Christy's like, bring your kids, and we will, during the conference, we're not going to babysit them at night, ladies. But I think the hotel's got services for that, or you can throw them to Disney World. But, there would be no reason. I mean, not the cost, because most conferences are, like you said, $1,500, $2,000. So, Christy didn't want to make cost a barrier. She didn't want to make the barrier that, if women did not have childcare back at home, bring your kids with you. It's a great thing. Justin Bird, my dear friend, he is speaking, and, he called me yesterday, Christy, and he said, you know what? I'm going to bring my 7-year-old son to this conference because this is the one that he needs to see. And because at 7, they make the decision as a family that they need to attend a business meeting with dad. And he said, I want him to see the powerful women and how they come together and how they're trying to revolutionize the auto industry. So that's just all really, Christy, a testament of your vision and your persistence on keeping this thing together and getting it together. So Christy, Christy's never ever going to shout her own praises. So I thought I would take a moment to do that.
We talk about powerful women. I'm married to one.
Yes, you are.
Yes.
And I have always elevated my wife. I've always put her in the spotlight. I've always been a pair. I've never been the dominant figure in the business, even though I've got a pretty dominating personality, but I have always elevated and celebrated my wife. And I think when I had 40 employees, over 3/4 of them were women, and they were in executive positions. They weren't clerical employees by any means.
This is why we love you. This is why we're on your show, because you have
lovely, lovely women, and the way you treat her is so neat to see. It's rare to see someone treat their wife that way in front of everyone, and you do that all the time. You've done it ever since I've known you. It's one of my favorite things about you. She's an awesome.
Called her my smoking hot trophy
Southern Belle too. She's just a lovely, lovely lady.
I've always called her my smoking hot trophy wife.
You did pretty good there, Jim.
Yeah,
I did.
Sure did.
It's amazing. Hey, Ken Wolf's back. Look at this. He didn't get notified. So, Ken, I put this all over my Facebook page. You're not visiting me enough. Chris Bennett, Amanda Ryan's with us. I said, well, Amanda Ryan and her sister are identical twins. Now, I really like the prettier one best, but the smarter one I also like.
I wonder if they know which is which.
I didn't say anything.
Wasn't me.
Tell me more about the conference, Christy.
Well, it starts off on Sunday, the 24th at about 1. We're actually going to start in the morning with a speed meeting, which we did at the Automotive Leading Ladies Conference. And I thought it was really neat. It was just where it's kind of like speed dating, where people sign up and then they can go around and meet different people in 10-minute increments. So we're going to do that in the morning for anybody who wants to meet some new people. And then we kick off at 1 o'clock, and we have a cocktail reception that night with some entertainment. And then Monday it goes from 9, and then we have a cocktail reception with the Marvelous Wonderettes performing. And then Tuesday it goes from 9 until 3. So there's breakfast and lunch on the second and the third day, both days. And then we have the 2 cocktail receptions and the free childcare. And just, if you look at the agenda, it's just chock full of amazing speakers. Justin Bird, like she said, is speaking. Brian Benstock of Paragon Honda is speaking. We have Google, Facebook. Brian Benstock.
Back up.
Yes.
Did you say Brian Benstock?
I did.
Brian Benstock's a legend.
He is a legend.
Number one Honda dealer in the universe.
In the universe. That's correct.
He is so technologically advanced. I mean, I absolutely admire Brian Benstock.
Yes, I mean it's and we, that's one of the things I thought you were going to say. You're letting men speak at your conference, and the answer is, of course, we're letting men speak at our conference. We're people. It's not just. Yes, the conference is defined that it's women in automotive, but it's not just for women in automotive. It's for everyone who works in automotive to learn how to work better with women, and for women to learn how to do their jobs better. it's just that, that just happened to be the domain and sort of our niche, because we're all women in automotive. That's kind of, obvious, I would think. Alan Cooper bought Men in Automotive. I thought you'd get a kick out of that. So he's going to start the Men in Automotive conference, and I told him that. So maybe we'll let them speak.
We need to promote men in the car business. We certainly do.
Yeah, there's just not enough.
There's just not enough of them. They need their own conference.
We need our own conference. Women conference, but we need a men's conference. Hey, listen, anybody that's listening to this broadcast right now, please share it on your own Facebook page. Anybody that's watching this conference, hit the share button and put it on your own page and any other page that you have domain. Please do that. And
Christy, I'm not even sure that you were told this yet, but Subi decided yesterday, Subi and I decided that we're going to be doing live stream interviews out of the Women in Automotive Conference. We're going to be interviewing Subi and I, some of the speakers, Jim, of course, you and your beautiful wife, Debbie, and just some of the attendees. And so even if you can't make it this year, we want to at least give you the vibe, and we want you to see the amazing people, men and women, that come and support the women in automotive. And the men that are there, like you, Jim, I always call them, hello, ladies, and the guys that get it, right? And, the Brian Benstocks of the world, and Justin Bird, and just men who are very, very high level in the automotive industry, but they support women and they understand the importance of women sitting at the table and and sitting in high level positions. And so it's awesome. So if you guys can't come, we have another one, Christy, coming up in November out in California, right before the LA Auto Show. Make it a priority. I mean, it's just one of those things, ladies and gentlemen, that it's on my calendar every year. Like the minute I have every date for next year, it's on my calendar. And, Jim talked about us building a movement, and that's what we're doing. And I closed it last year out in California. No, last year in Orlando. And I closed it and I said, but we can't be the only ones starting the movement. 600 of us aren't going to change the face and the lens of the automotive industry. We need you guys to show up, and then we need you to come back, and then we need you to bring your friends, and that's men and women. And we can show an industry that there are great men and women that we're all willing to come together, help each other, support each other, and build this industry and support it, because this is the greatest industry in the world.
Do you know why most people never get to attend a conference like this?
They're mean dealers.
They're afraid to ask the dealer. They never approach the dealer or the general manager. Well, I'm going to tell you what, if you're not attending educational events because you didn't ask the dealer and you're timid or reticent to do that, suck it up, buttercup. Go ask your dealer. Right?
Yeah. And, and I'll tell you, Jim, I mean, many women, Christy's always running around like a chicken with her head cut off. Obviously, it's her conference. And so, I get a chance to talk to a lot of the women in the audience. And Christy knows this story, but a young woman came up to me, and I think it was the second conference. And she came up to me and she said, I cashed out my 401k to be here. My dealer wouldn't pay for it. I cashed out my 401k, and I looked at her and I said, was it worth it? And she said, it changed my life and my perspective.
Cashed out her 401k just to come to the conference?
Yeah. Yeah. I also told her to get a new boss. Yeah. Everybody who's coming to the conference and you want some perspective, come find me. And after my second Prosecco, I'm really going to give you my perspective.
Now, Women in Automotive, that's www.womeninautomotive.com. Is that true?
That is correct.
And correct. All the speakers are on there. All the sponsors are on there. All the sessions are on there.
Everything.
I mean, people like Tesla are coming. Tesla sponsored us last year, or God, I'm like, what month? Yeah. What year do I live in? They sponsored us out in California, and now they're sponsoring again, and they're speaking. I mean, high level OEMs, and and Christy talked about some of the women that are speaking. The CMO and Ford and things like that. And so, like this conference is no joke. You want to take your career to the next level. You want to talk to women who have made it, who have broken glass ceilings. Not only do I get to be the closing keynote for the conference, but I'm going to moderate a panel of amazing women dealers. Eve Knutson, Evelyn Chantal, I can't think of the third one right now, but anyways, these women are car dealers, and they broke the glass ceiling, and they're very successful, and they are there so that they can give back. And my panel, I'm moderating it. I'm going to talk to them, and we're going to help women out there who are in the audience who potentially someday want to be a car dealer, and we're going to tell them how to get there and what you need to do, and share with them some resources. And so it's it's everything from motivation to you want to have your name on the sign someday. Come on down.
I have many female dealers that I work with, and all of them are second generation. I mean, there are many second generation. Like I look at Kristen Dillard in North Carolina. Now, her dad's been a client of mine forever and ever. She's a second generation dealer, but she's extremely competent.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of dealers that made it up through the ranks and didn't even have a relative to fall back on.
Well, and what's interesting, I had on my show last week Annette Sakura, and Annette, so NADA just celebrated their 100-year anniversary. Annette is the only woman in 100 years that was the chairwoman. I
spoke at the event where she was, I guess they call it inaugurated.
Yeah.
Yeah, back when, Annette's been a friend of mine for a number of years. She's
me too.
West Texas.
Yeah, she's a car dealer here in Texas. She was always a big supporter of mine, and when I was a dealer, and she's a fantastic lady. But I didn't realize that she was the only woman, the only chairwoman, and in 100 years of NADA, and that's why we have to change the ratio. We have to, and that's what this conference will do. In fact, I invited Annette, Christy, so I'm hoping she's going to be able to make it out. But, we need to change the ratio. We need to change the conversation. And it's not women sitting around and complaining, oh, poor me, da-da-da-da-da. We're like, hey, just like you say, suck it up, cupcake. It isn't about being poor you. What we're going to do, though, is we're going to expose you to women that have done it, like myself and all these other women and Christy, and, have risen to high levels in the automotive industry. And we're going to tell you the mistakes we made, the things that worked, the things that didn't work. We're going to make strategic introductions for people, because I love to do that. I know Christy does too. If I meet one woman, I think, oh my God, you need to meet this person or whatever. And that's what we do. So
let me ask Christy a question.
Sure.
Now, Christy, is this going to be a conference just about promoting women, and people are going to have a couple of days of severe propaganda about women, or is there some content involved on how to do things, how to excel, how to advance yourself in the car business?
Yeah. So yes, the propaganda, no. That's one thing that we've really tried to stay away from. This isn't a man bashing. Some people say we're going to go man bash. That's not it at all. This is just about being more, I say we're trying to develop the person. We put a conference together that's about developing people. Some of them happen to be women is, obviously our focal point, but it's about developing people. So to that end, we have 4 tracks. We talk about leadership. We talk about trends in marketing and selling, hiring and retaining women, personal development, and then dealership strategies. So there's categories of breakouts in each one of those categories. Leadership is not gender specific. That is something everyone can benefit from. Dealership strategies are not gender specific. Personal development is not gender specific. The fact that women happen to come to this conference, and that's what the content is, it's not just for women. It really is about bringing men into the conversation so that we can figure out how do we change the demographics in a dealership? How do we change a culture in a dealership to more closely reflect not only the consumers coming in, but the behavior and the expectations of like women who need to have balance so they can go home with their kids, or young people who maybe don't need that, but they want that. They don't want to work, 6 days a week. How do we address those issues, and who's doing it, so that we can all learn, okay, well, this is working for AutoNation, or this is working for Asbury, or this is working for the individual dealer, so we can help people make some of these adjustments, because it's really not that easy to know what to do. A lot of people have the impression it's shoes and hair and nails, but no, it's really about content, advancing your career, and there is some specific content about advancing your career. Absolutely. And developing yourself as a human being. That's exactly right. Hair and nails is, not really a big part of it. I mean, we certainly we do some fun things. We have a headshot guy that'll take a professional headshot for you. We have great entertainment, which is included, so you don't have to, there's no parties specifically, but we have these cocktail receptions with great entertainment that we provide. It's just really, I look at the conferences and I think, what are the fun parts of each one that we can incorporate? At the same time, we're bombarding people with really great content, really great speakers, really motivating. When you leave there, it's hard to go back unchanged. And I know Lisa said this, one thing I did not anticipate was the fact that people would say that their lives were changed. I didn't see it that way. I saw it as like, oh, this will be kind of cool to do. And, when you hear from multiple people that this changed their lives, it made me pause and think, wow, okay, this is maybe a little bit more of an impact than I anticipated it would be. And there's something about being able to have that impact by putting something together where we're just trying to help each other that's really inspiring.
I am absolutely impressed with what you guys have put together here. Now, what other information should we tell them, Lisa?
Show up. Let's do it. Get online and register. You're on this show for a reason today, and invest in yourself and come join us. And, I have friends now, including Christy and Jody, and all of them, and people that I've met that'll be my friends the rest of my life. And it's because, we're all on this journey together to revolutionize the auto industry. So, we're inviting people to join us.
The CEO of General Motors is now a woman.
I love her. I have such a girl crush on her. I think she's so fantastic. I had the honor of meeting her a couple of years ago. And I told everyone, stand back. I'm with Mary Barra right now.
Well, Mary Barra is absolutely a phenomenon. I'm not totally impressed with the other top management, but she is a star.
She is a star.
Absolutely. Christy, anything you want to close with?
We do have day rates. So if someone can only come for one day instead of being able to come for the whole 3 days, we do have that. We have student rates. If anybody has a student, college student, high school student that would like to come, we have all those things available so that if you can only come for part of the conference, you can do so.
Okay, well, Jim Ziegler, Debbie Ziegler, the Alpha Dawg, and Debbie, and Sadie the Wonder Dog, our King Charles Cavalier, is going to be there. She was a big hit at the last conference I had in Florida. So, yes, Sadie the Wonder Dog is going to be there. And I've got Internet Battle Plan coming up. We'll do a little commercial for my stuff for a second. I got Internet Battle Plan coming up in Detroit, August 7th and 8th. And that website is internetbattleplan.com. Okay, we're talking about women in automotive. This is an exceptional event. And women in automotive is something I personally have supported, something I think all dealers need to support. And I think we need to elevate women to their highest possible level. Last words, Lisa.
Thank you very much, Jim, for being such a supporter of women in automotive. And I know many of the young women that you've mentored, you and Debbie have mentored over the years, and you've helped them be very successful. So I'm very appreciative, and I'm so excited that you and Debbie are going to join us in Orlando.
Last word, Christy.
You've always been a hero of mine. I've known you for years, even if you didn't know who I was. So the fact that at this point in my career, I could be invited to speak on your show is a real privilege. And again, we're really trying to help dealers. That's really the motivation, is to help dealers stay relevant, to help them figure out how to get good people so that their sales continue to stay high, and they don't, that the disruptions that are happening are just disruptions, and we're just going to adapt accordingly.
Always. Now, on these broadcasts, these Facebook broadcasts, more people watch the broadcast on the replay than watch it on the original. I anticipate thousands of replays on this video. I'm asking everybody that sees this video in the original or the replay, please share it on your own page and any pages that you have control of. Let's share this all over Facebook, even if you're not in the automotive industry. Well, ladies, I'll tell you what, this has been one heck of an event. I've had a good time. Have you had a good time?
Yes, and I can't wait to see you guys next weekend.
I know. We're almost there. I'm so excited. And Christy, real quick, I had Kendrick Shope on my show a few minutes ago, and she and I are the two closing keynotes. And She's been on Steve Harvey. She's amazing. And she's just like, I cannot wait to get there. She's not even in the automotive industry. And she's like, I can hardly even sleep at night. I think it's going to be so much fun.
Yeah.
So
love you guys.
All right. Love you too.
Mr. Ziegler.
Stay on after the broadcast.